know.
We see from the numbers. Gotta go.
Is that for just $2.99 every day, our quarter chicken value meals are irresistible. And it's the taste that'll keep you coming back for more. Pollo Tropical, the taste you'll crave.
Finally, Pollo!
The 97 Mazda 626 LX Special Edition. Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $17,895.
Woke up this morning and dragged myself out of bed. Went on into the kitchen, my fridge was dead. Got my chef dirty laundry. Went down to my machine. That's when I discovered my clothes weren't even clean. Yeah.
We've got the cure for your blues with no interest financing until 1998 on all appliances this week at Best Buy.
The Honor Network has expanded to include twice as many shops, restaurants, and ATMs. Just look for the new green Honor signs. Honor. Life should be this easy.
Live from South Florida's news station. This is Today in Florida.
Police arrest one of their own for a fatal shooting on South Beach. We are live with the latest.
New information this morning in the murders of a Miramar family.
The parents of JonBenet Ramsey break their silence talking to police and the media.
And you may be entitled to a fortune and not even know it. We continue to show you the money. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Turchin.
And I'm Michele Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on those stories in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Pamela Wright and see what we can expect from our weather as we get ready for the weekend to arrive. Happy Friday, Pamela.
Thanks. Are you ready for the weekend, Michele?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I think we all are. And it's going to be a mixed bag of weather for the weekend, but not all bad, that's for sure. 75 degrees in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. We do have a case of the muggies this morning. The temperatures all pretty close together, so the relative humidity levels are pretty representative here. 100% in Homestead. You're the winner. Your air is saturated. 94% in Fort Lauderdale, and with this much humidity, well, things usually stay a little unstable, so that's why we're going to call for a few showers today and a few more into the weekend, maybe even some thunderstorms. This is all ahead of a front, so we're going to check out the timing of that coming up in a few minutes. Now the news.
This morning, 2 people are under arrest charged in connection with a fatal shooting on South Beach. The one detective say pulled the trigger, a Metro-Dade police officer. 7 Steve Simon is handling this story. He is live outside the Dade County Jail where one of the men is being held. Steve?
One of the suspects not here is that Metro-Dade police officer we've been hearing about now for the last 2 weeks or so. That officer at the North Dade detention facility, he's there, cops say, for his own protection.
Any way you cut it, slice it, it's an unfortunate situation, whether it's a police officer or not.
But Miami Beach police are talking about another officer. A man used to arresting suspects, now a suspect himself, charged with second-degree murder. He's Metro-Dade police officer Shay Dunbar. A 4-year veteran of the force, Miami Beach police say Dunbar and friend Lionel Coelho got into a bar fight with another group. It all happened nearly 2 weeks ago. Cops tell us the fight started in this South Beach bar, but the hostility between the two groups went into the street. Shay Dunbar and Lionel Coelho exchanging words with another group that included Diego Arguelles, who was celebrating his 22nd birthday. Cops say Arguelles threw a bottle at Dunbar's Ford Explorer. Then Dunbar and Coelho allegedly responded by firing their guns. Nearly a dozen shots, one of them hitting Arguelles. He later died. Cops say Dunbar and Coelho then drove away in Dunbar's black Ford Explorer. It was later searched and seized at Dunbar's home. Also taken by investigators, several guns, clothing, and bloodstains taken from the Ford. Enough evidence for police to charge Dunbar and Coelho with second-degree murder.
I can tell you that it's based on his mental state, and that has a lot to do with the second-degree murder charge.
I don't know what they were thinking when they did the shooting, but now look at how many people suffered. It's just not one murder. It's more.
Now, since this investigation began, Shea Dunbar was suspended with pay from the Metro-Dade Police Force. Now, he is suspended without pay. The bond hearing set for about 10 o'clock this morning. That's the story for now. We're live in downtown Miami. Steve Simon, Today in Florida.
Thank you, Steve. Police still have no motive and no suspects in connection with a massacre in Miramar. 2 adults and 2 children were found Wednesday murdered in their home. This morning, we are hearing a neighbor's frantic 911 call after the gruesome scene was discovered.
The next door neighbor? Okay, he just found out that an infant and an old lady has just passed away.
An infant or an old lady?
Both.
Do you know how they passed away?
No, he does not know. He said he just took a look and there's a pool of blood.
According to the medical examiner, the 3-year-old and the 2-month-old were beaten to death. Their mother and grandmother were both shot and beaten.
Another murder mystery, this one in a West Dade warehouse. 3 men were found inside Raoul Distributors, a company that exports and imports electronics. Dead, 56-year-old Raul Del Castillo, his son and a business associate.
There's no reason imaginable to anyone here why this should have happened. None whatsoever. It makes no sense.
They're very nice people, big heart. So it's a shock to all of us.
Now, if police have any idea who killed the 3, they aren't saying. At this point, with nothing missing from the warehouse and no sign of forced entry, they say robbery is not considered a strong motive.
Drug enforcement agents and Miami police make one of the largest pot busts in South Florida history. It happened last night at North Miami Avenue and 29th Street. $18 million worth of pot was found at a storefront, a front for that pot growing facility. No arrests have been made. Police got a lead from a similar bust in Hialeah on Wednesday. In that one, they arrested 3 people.
It is 5 minutes after 7 o'clock. Police have intensified their search for a suspected shoplifter who shot a Sears security guard. 27-year-old Anthony Wins, the man you see right there, was shot twice, once in the neck and once in the stomach when he tried to stop the man. He is now in critical condition. A surveillance camera caught the shooting on tape. According to detectives, the suspect and a woman ripped off an electric razor inside the Sears before walking out of the store. When Wins approached them, the man opened fire, then ran to a waiting car. Now, if you have any information that may help catch the suspects, call Crime Stoppers. In Broward County, that number is 954-493-TIPS. In Dade, the Crime Stoppers number is 305-471-TIPS. A Miramar couple's battle to have their children excused from a sex education class is finally over. Yesterday, the Archdiocese of Miami settled a dispute between the Andersons and St. Bartholomew's Catholic School. Last month, the Andersons pulled their 3 children from a course that included human sexuality. But the school insisted the course was mandatory and refused to admit the children back in school unless they took the class. The settlement allows the children to be excused from the sex ed portion of the class.
Time now 6 minutes after the hour. Wind, rain, and twisters are leaving a trail of destruction all across the Midwest. Pamela Wright's standing by in the Weather Center now with a look. Pamela?
Yes, it is that time of year. We saw many spring storms causing major damage in several states over the past day. In Missouri, gusts of winds so strong in the St. Louis area, they actually lifted bricks and caused some buildings to collapse. Traffic came to a stop, of course, in some areas where trees fell right across the road. Wind gusts up to 70 miles per hour and a tornado touchdown near northwest Indiana. Tornadoes and heavy rains with this one went through a couple of neighborhoods, ripping some windows right out of their frames. Bad weather also slammed into Illinois. Now, this couple is trying to understand how their unfinished home ended up off its foundation. Probably a good thing they weren't living in it yet. No one injured there, but those spring storms, well, they are moving in our general direction. So we'll see their current location and how they may affect our weekend coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Pamela. Right now it is 7 minutes after 7 o'clock. Coming up on Today in Florida, we're going to take another check on traffic. Also, the Ramseys break their silence with the media after being questioned by police in their daughter's murder.
Authorities sending a strong message to a separatist group still holed up in that Texas compound.
And your name may not be on the list, but guess what? You too could be owed thousands of dollars. We're going to show you the money.
And now, the 7 Sports Page.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Rooms to Go. Buy the piece, save a little. Buy the room, save a lot.
$6.99. The one low price at Rooms to Go. Just $699 buys you anything you're about to see. Only $6.99 for these incredible sofa and love seat sets. Choose this 7-piece contemporary bedroom, this Southwest bedroom, or this 18th century cherry bedroom, this traditional cherry dining set, or this whitewashed wall unit. Your choice, $6.99. The one low price, $6.99. $6.99. $6.99 days at Rooms to Go. Now through Wednesday. Don't miss it.
Once found, impossible to leave. Estee Lauder Pleasures. For Mother's Day, a filigree basket of spring color. Just $25 with any Estee Lauder fragrance purchase. This special offer is yours now at Macy's.
Dear buy owner, my wife and I lead very hectic lives. We needed your help to find a bigger home, and fast. Thanks, buy owner.
I know Charlie would never want me to live alone. And thanks to your help, I'll be back with my family in no time. Thanks, buy owner.
Selling with you was really easy and saved us $7,000. Thanks, buy owner.
With you and buy owner, it's as good as sold.
Welcome back. The time is now 10 minutes after 7. National news taking us to Texas, where the state has reportedly issued its final written offer to a separatist group that is refusing to surrender. The state's final offer is come out or police are coming in. But this morning there has still been no response from the Republic of Texas leader Richard McLaren. McLaren and 12 other members of his group have been in a standoff with police since Sunday near Fort Davis.
The first official day of the fire season was ignited yesterday in Southern California. As you can see, more than 400 acres burned in the hills of the Angeles National Forest. Nearly 200 firefighters and 6 helicopters were called in to battle the flames.
Pennsylvania, a small stunt plane nosedives and crashes into a residential area. Authorities believe the pilot died on impact. Witnesses say the pilot had been performing stunts at a very low altitude. Fortunately, no one else was injured.
The parents of murdered beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey have broken their public silence. The couple is declaring their innocence. Senior reporter Mark Ludner, the only South Florida reporter in Colorado, has the story.
I'm appalled that anyone would think that John or I would be involved in such a hideous, heinous crime. But let me assure you that I did not kill JonBenet.
Patsy and John Ramsey denied killing their daughter. John Ramsey denied molesting his daughter.
I can tell you those were the most hurtful innuendos to us as a family. They are totally false.
The Ramseys spent about 40 minutes with a group of 7 hand-picked news people in a secret location. None of those news people was from the tabloids, which have been steadily reporting that the Ramseys, especially Patsy Ramsey, are under police suspicion in the murder.
I mean, we've suffered the loss of our child as well as this travesty of all of this that's happened on top of it.
You know, at first we were shocked and then outraged, and then we understood statistically that's a sad state of affairs, that's apparently in the majority of cases like this in our country, family members or parents are ultimately involved. And so we accepted being suspects.
Off limits during today's session with news people, any questions about what exactly the Ramseys were doing in the hours before JonBenet was found strangled to death in the basement of this house. Also off limits, questions about yesterday's interrogation of the Ramseys by Boulder police. The Ramseys say they are confident the killer of their child will be caught.
You may be eluding the authorities for a time, but God knows who you are, and we will find you.
For Today in Florida, Mark Lundner, 7 News.
The Ramseys also defended their daughter's involvement in beauty pageants. Neither police nor prosecutors commented on the news conference. No arrests, by the way, have been made yet.
Time for 7 weather with Pamela Wright.
Well, we saw some of the destructions these spring storms can do just a few minutes ago, and I have a feeling we're going to see more pictures like those right out of this portion of the country this morning, or by this afternoon for sure. Through Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, a big chance for severe weather today, and you can see why. We have a low pressure system spiraling its way off towards the east, meeting up with this warm Gulf air. The Gulf is going to open up once again, and we're going to watch the moisture move into the southeast. So as the front closes in on this, actually all of the southeast could probably see some strong storms into the weekend, and that could even include us. It is a battle of the air masses, and that's what we're seeing here. 57 in Amarillo, separated here into 71 in Dallas. So you can see where the cooler air has migrated thus far. Nothing cool about our weather right now. 75 is our current temperature, and the humidity is up at 87%. We're going to continue to watch the humidity climb throughout the next couple of days. The winds, however, well, they're fairly calm, and that's good news if you're heading offshore today. Here's one front that'll just move on by, not affecting anyone. Summer-like today, as I said, the Gulf moisture will be moving on in and spark off a few showers this afternoon and into tonight. But I think the strong storms, they're going to stay pretty far to our east for another day or two. But we're going to watch the tail end of this front, as it does look like it will affect our weather into the weekend. Just a few showers around today. A high of 87. Again, the UV index is very high, and it will be through the weekend. So be sure to wear a cap or something if you're going out to the Air and Sea Show. Boaters, speaking of the seas, they're only going to be 1 to 2 feet today. Quite nice. Muggy and mild tonight. We stay in the 70s for our overnight low. I think that front will arrive sometime late in the day to the evening on Saturday. So a thunderstorm's a good possibility into Saturday evening and the first part of your Sunday. Traffic now with Tiffany.
95 southbound, it's starting to build from the Glades all the way into State Road 112. 826 northbound delays as usual. Crawl way down to that Dolphin. Southbound, slow around the big curve, and it's like that down to about 103rd. An accident as well, delaying you. Northwest 27th Avenue, just north of Honey Hill Road. Lots of rescue units, and it is blocking your way. Broward County crash. It's actually a car fire. Westbound 595. Right at Nob Hill Road, 95 north and southbound, running up to speed in Broward. And keep in mind, Air and Sea Show has A1A closed down this weekend. Sunrise Boulevard over to Northeast 11th Street. I'm Tiffany Hartley. More traffic for you in 30 minutes.
Air and Sea Show?
I won't be able to make it, unfortunately, but I hear it's a great event. Missed it last year, too.
Blast. Anyway, sorry.
Wow. Time now, 7:16. Up next on Today in Florida. Millions of dollars just waiting to be claimed in South Florida. We will show you the money.
And in HealthCast, we're going to tell you about a discovery that could lead to a cure for diabetes.
And find out if the Heat are able to wrap up their series with the Magic. We'll have Game 4 highlights coming up.
Furniture buyers. Your mission is to save thousands of dollars during Carl's Furniture Impossible Sale. Your assignment, should you decide to accept, is to buy Bernhardt at half price. Buy one piece, get the second half price. It's unbelievable. It's unheard of. It sounds impossible, but it's true. You only have a few hours to accomplish this spectacular money-saving mission at Carl's Impossible Sale. Good luck.
Well, if I had money to tell you what to do, I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or two. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
Come see America's best-selling trucks, only at your South Florida Ford dealer today.
Mother's Day is May 11th. Lucky for you, Burdines is having a sale and event full of great gifts.
Save on the little things she says she wants.
And the big things she really wants, plus all the extras she'll thank you for.
We didn't stop there. Our Mother's Day sale means something on sale for everyone. What mom wouldn't love that? Plus, get an extra special gift, a Mother's Day violet with your purchase of $50 or more.
It's Burdines' way of saying thanks to all the great moms in Florida.
With more great gifts than ever, Burdines' Mother's Day sale starts Saturday.
Burdines, more gifts than ever.
The breakfast on the left costs $2.99 at Denny's. The breakfast on the right costs $14.99 at some fancy restaurant. The difference? The breakfast on the left was served by Jack. The breakfast on the right was served by Jacques. Please. The breakfast on the left cost $14.99 at some fancy restaurant. The breakfast on the right cost $2.99 at Denny's. The difference? Must be that $12 parsley. Yeah.
Just about 19 minutes after 7 o'clock. Let's get up to the update desk where Sean Robinson is ready to take a look at this morning's top stories. Sean?
Thank you, John. Here are some of the stories we are following for you today. A bond hearing is set this morning for Metro-Dade officer Shay Dunbar and his friend Lino Coelho. The duo was arrested last night for the shooting death of Diego Argayas. They have been charged with second-degree murder and use of a weapon during a felony. The Miramar Medical Examiner's Office has confirmed the 2 children involved in a family massacre yesterday were beaten to death. The girls' mother and grandmother were shot. Police say there are no signs of forced entry in the home. One of the largest pot busts in South Florida history was made last night. Drug enforcement officers found $18 million worth of pot in a storefront. That is it from the update desk. I'm Sean Robinson. Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you, Sean. Well, imagine finding out you have unclaimed cash just waiting for you, money being held in a state account. Patrick Frazier shows us the money in part 4 of his special assignment report.
Your name could be here. One of a million South Floridians owed a piece of the $400 million jackpot. The average payout, about $600, but it can reach thousands. We noticed Eric Hoffman's name because he has more than $42,000 coming to him. The list says this is Hoffman's last known address here in Miami Beach. We checked it out.
Eric Hoffman, sound familiar?
What's the apartment number you said?
426.
No, not associated with that apartment, no.
In fact, we couldn't find anyone here who had ever heard of Eric Hoffman. Now, it could be the state had the wrong address or he didn't leave a forwarding address. So our next step was to go to the phone book to see if any Hoffman in South Florida had ever heard of Eric Hoffman.
We called every Hoffman in the Dade and Broward book, spelled H-O-F-M-A-N-N.
They couldn't find his address, I guess.
We even searched the internet for Hoffmans around the world. Lots of responses, but no Eric Hoffman of Miami Beach, Florida.
Then we had another thought. Maybe we couldn't find Eric Hoffman because he's dead. So we came to the county health department and found out, yes, he is. He died 10 years ago. So we looked for his next of kin, his son, John Hoffman. He died 8 years ago. But we did find John Hoffman's wife.
She was living in Israel, so we wrote her this letter, and she called us right away.
Treasure, yeah. As if I found a treasure. And it was a surprise, a good surprise, but I was skeptic about it. And I still am.
Don't be skeptical, Rena. It's true. She told us Eric Hoffman was not exactly a rich guy or anything, but he had a rich history. He was among the last Jews to escape Nazi Germany in 1939. He came to Michigan, got a job at the Ford assembly line in Detroit, and worked there for years. Hoffman then retired to Miami Beach, played the stock market a little bit, and put some of his money in what used to be Washington Savings of Miami Beach, an account that grew to $42,880, an account that everyone forgot. And that's another angle to explore in your treasure hunt. Check for relatives. In the vault, Mike Wallace left a safety deposit box filled with cash. Now it sits waiting for a relative of his to claim it.
So chances are he's dead. A relative will get this, if you can find him.
If we can find him, that's correct. And you can give us the name of your aunts and your uncles and your father and your mother if they're deceased, and who knows, there may be a property in the computer system here waiting for you to come along and to discover.
Check your relatives. That's what led us to Rena. Now her family will get a nice unexpected check for more than $48,000.
My children know that I have a little bit from their grandfather. They will probably like it, and they will love to have it.
And you could have money coming to you and not even know it. Tonight, we'll show you people who got money this week. People who didn't know they had money coming until they show you the money. We'll show you people who have thousands coming to them. Hopefully, it'll be you. It all begins at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. For Today in Florida, I'm Patrick Frazier, 7 News.
And if Rena's kids don't want it, I know 2 people who would be glad to spend it for you.
Show us the money.
23 minutes after 7 o'clock, here's what's ahead in the 7:30 edition of Today in Florida. Trying to lose weight? Well, HealthCast has a few tips to control your appetite.
We are learning about some dangerous close calls at one of America's most popular flying destinations.
And a Metro-Dade police officer faces the other side of the law, charged with murder.
7 News, brought to you in part by the full line of Infinity luxury automobiles and by 10321. Just dial it and save 50% on calls from home.
Imagine a place that surrounds you with elegance and pampers you with luxury.
Williams, the car, please.
Introducing the Infinity QX4. It has all the comfort and style you'd expect in an Infinity.
Williams, while we're young.
It's just a bit more assertive. The new QX4.
They created electronic trading, and a global intranet became their trading floor. An intranet now able to handle 1 billion shares a day, with trades flashed to 300,000 monitors around the world in milliseconds. With reliability critical, with no room for error, who did NASDAQ turn to build and manage the world's largest intranet? MCI. Imagine now what we can do for you.
It's the home sale and event you've waited for, where you'll find great savings, great values, and great prices right now at Burdines. Save 20 to 40% on just what you want for every room in your home. That's the great home furnishings you want now. Plus, buy it now, no payments, no interest for 3 months. Get to Burdines for the details. Get to Burdines and save. It is the home sale you've waited for, and it all starts Saturday at Burdines. Don't wait.
It's a Knots Landing reunion with Joan Van Art, Kevin Dobson, and Michele Lee. Get it live with Regis and Kathie Lee. Today at 9 on WSVN-7.
It started with a sheep and brought science closer to human cloning. Could this controversial breakthrough become a genetic nightmare?
The potential for something going wrong is always there.
7's Marilyn Mitchell investigates. Science or sci-fi? 7 News reports tonight at 5 and 10. Time for 7 Video Sports with Deuces Rogers.
Good morning, South Florida. Where do we begin? A series that should have been over on Tuesday is going to Game 5. The Heat fold again as the Magic tie the series at 2 games apiece. Alonzo Mourning with the game face. He was supposed to have a big game with Horace Grant and Ronnie Cycli each out with injuries first quarter. Cycli's backup, Danny Shays, with a great pass to Penny Hardaway. 3-point play. Penny with 18 points in the first quarter. Tim Hardaway answers for the Heat. The reverse layup, game tied at 20. Second quarter, the Magic going a 13-0 run. Penny juking and jiving, shaking and baking, dropping in 2 more points. Riley and the guys down by 14 at the half. Third quarter, Bashan Leonard. Alley-oop to P.J. Brown. Heat pull to within 4 at one point, but with the shot clock winding down, Nick Anderson to Penny Hardaway. Another 3-point play. Magic up by 11 after 3. 41 points for Hardaway. Fourth quarter, Tim Hardaway hits a pair of threes. The lead cut down to 5. But Zoe turns the ball over on a key possession. The Heat lose again, and there will be a Game 5 on Sunday. A disappointing 99-91 loss.
There's an old saying that the playoffs don't start until the home team loses a game. You know, the home court advantage is going to win it for you yourself. We're going to have to play a hell of a lot better than we played here. And so we got 2 days until we play a game that means our season.
I'm not really surprised. You know, I said all along that we had a good enough team to go out there and play hard and win basketball games, especially in our building. You know, we play well here, especially with our fans. The fans are the biggest thing that really carries us over.
Hardaway, 42 points in the other game, 41 points last night, Game 5 on Sunday. Well, baseball now. The Marlins have been far from road warriors this season. Their 2-game trip to St. Louis, proof enough. Alex Fernandez on the hill trying to stop the bleeding. The Marlins had dropped 8 straight away from home, bottom of 1. Mark Sweeney with the 2-run single to center. 2-run score. Marlins trail it 2-0. Cardinal pitcher Matt Morris pitching a gem until the 8th inning. Greg Zahn takes him deep to right. A 2-run shot, but it's not enough. The Marlins lose their 9th straight on the road. 3-2 the final. That'll do it for sports this morning. I'm Deuces Rogers. You have yourself a good day.
And that'll do it for Today in Florida at 7. Sean Robinson joins me next with more news.
Have a good day, everyone.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Estrella Insurance. For low-price auto insurance, look for the star.
Hello, I'm here to introduce to you Estrella Auto Insurance. This symbol is called a logo. The solid geometric shape represents 18 years of dependable service. Green is symbolic of the friendly service you'll receive at any of our convenient locations. These stars are what you might see if you don't have good insurance. However, this star represents Estrella, where you can buy good, reliable insurance at an affordable price. Give yourself a break. Call us today.
Critics are in love with Romy and Michele.
Which one of these guys will I have sex with at the reunion?
Rolling Stone calls it the beige version of Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
Siskel and Ebert give it 2 thumbs up.
Oh my God.
It's one of the funniest films of the year.
What are you picking on us for anyway? We are not the ones who got fat. We're pregnant, you half-wit.
Romy and Michelle's high school reunion.
Okay, we are not the ones who got pregnant.
Rated R. Now playing.
Out here, it's Monday. In here, it's Friday. Tuesday.
Friday.
Wednesday. Friday.
Now introducing Friday's Jack Daniel's Grill. Delicious entrees basted in a sweet Smoky Mountain Jack Daniel's sauce. The new Jack Daniel's Grill at Fridays.
Good name.
What makes a woman alluring? It's difficult to define, but impossible to resist. Every woman has her own special allure. And like a perfect memory, it lasts forever. Allure, the irresistible fragrance from Chanel. At Burdines.
Live from South Florida's news station. This is Today in Florida.
More disturbing information is coming out of a Miramar family massacre.
A Metro-Dade police officer is behind bars charged with murder. We are live with the latest.
Some scares in the air come to light out of one of America's busiest travel destinations.
And in HealthCast, some medical experts say a cure for diabetes is closer to becoming reality. Good morning, everyone. I'm Michele Tuzzi.
And I'm Sean Robinson. Thank you for joining us. We'll get you caught up on all of those stories in just a moment. But first, let's find out what your Friday forecast is going to be like. Pamela Wright is in the 7 Weather Center with the forecast. Good morning, Pamela. Some good news, I hope, today.
Yeah, we've got some pretty good news into the weekend. This morning starting out warm and humid, that's for sure. You are already at 80 degrees in Key West right now. 75 in Miami, 73 in Homestead. Humidity levels in most area, at least in the 90 percentile range, so be prepared to be hit by that when you walk out the door. We're going to have a more southwesterly flow today, and you know that means warm winds coming in, land breeze coming in, upper 80s to flirting with 90 over the next couple of days. And this is the leading edge of a pretty powerful cold front that we'll have to deal with by later on in the weekend. So I'm going to line that up for you coming up in just a few. Before today, just watch out for a few showers out there. That's about it. Michele.
Thank you, Pamela. This morning, police are returning to the scene of that massacre in Miramar, hoping to gather more clues in a case that's left family and friends in shock. A mother, grandmother, and 2 children all murdered. 7's Craig Stevens has the story.
Tonight, neighbors and members of the victim's church are coming here with prayer and with song. Meanwhile, crime scene detectives are still at it, still looking for clues that will lead them to a killer. Tonight, we do have a better picture of what happened here and exactly how the victims were killed. According to the medical examiner, 60-year-old Teresa Laverne and her 29-year-old daughter, Marie Altador, were fatally shot. Altador was shot repeatedly and was cut as well. But autopsy results now show the children, 3-year-old Samantha and 2-month-old Sabrina, were not shot as was originally believed. Both were beaten to death. This man, a relative, was with his son when they found the bodies.
When I saw the baby in the crib, the little baby, the little infant in the crib, and the grandmother in the kitchen, face down, in a pool of blood, all I could do is to grab my son and went to the neighbor's house to call the police.
The next door neighbor, okay, he just found out that an infant and an old lady has just passed away.
An infant or an old lady?
Both.
Do you know how they passed away?
No, he does not know. He said he just took a look and there's a pool of blood.
Inside tonight, investigators are still wearing protective boots so not to disturb potential evidence. They've spent much of the evening here, though it appears their work is far from complete.
At this hour, police say still no motive, still no suspects. The victim's family tells us this morning they are relying on their faith in God to help get them through this. In Miramar, I'm Craig Stevens for Today in Florida.
A Metro-Dade police officer faces a case of law and disorder. Detectives have arrested him and another man, charging them with a murder on South Beach. 7's Steve Simon is now joining us live outside the Dade County Jail in Miami with the very latest. Steve?
One of those suspects not here is that Metro-Dade officer we've been hearing about now for the last 2 weeks. And that officer, Shay Dunbar. He is at a North Dade detention facility. Police say he's there for his own protection. Another person arrested is Lionel Cuello. It's an alleged friend of Dunbar's, and this really all happening. There's Dunbar right there. Cuello, you'll see his picture coming up next. Both men are charged with second-degree murder. Now, this comes nearly 2 weeks to the day after a bar fight cops say ended with gunfire. It all happened at a South Beach bar called Society Hill. That's where police believe Dunbar and Cuello had words with another group that included a man by the name of Diego Arguelles. He was 22 years old, celebrating his birthday that night. Now, that fight went out into the street, and cops say Arguelles threw a bottle at Dunbar's car. That's when police believe Dunbar and Cuello pulled out guns and fired one of those bullets, hitting Arguelles. He later died.
Any way you cut it, slice it, it's an unfortunate situation, whether it's a police officer or not.
I don't know what they were thinking when they did the shooting, but now look at how many people suffered. It's just not one murder, it's more.
Now, a bond hearing is scheduled for this morning at 10 o'clock as far as the status of Shay Dunbar. When this investigation began, he was suspended with pay from the Metro-Dade Police Force. Now he is suspended without pay. That's the story for now. We're live at the Dade County Jail. Steve Simon, Today in Florida.
Thank you, Steve. Police find 3 men dead inside a warehouse, and they may have been killed execution style. Relatives of the victims found the bodies at Raul Distributors yesterday morning. Detectives are not saying how Raul Del Castillo, his son Alberto, and a colleague Jose Morales were killed. Family members are just trying to make some sense out of this tragedy.
No reason imaginable to anyone here why this should have happened. None whatsoever. It makes no sense.
They're very nice people, big heart. So it's a shock to all of us.
Metro-Dade investigators say there is no indication this was a robbery. They have no motive or suspects.
Police say they are closing in on a suspected shoplifter who was videotaped shooting a Sears security guard. A Broward Mall surveillance camera caught Wednesday shooting on tape. 27-year-old Anthony Wenz was shot in the neck and stomach. He is in critical condition. Police say the suspect and the 3 others believed to be with him may be from Dade County, not Broward. If you have any information that may help catch the suspects, please call Crime Stoppers. In Broward, the number is 954-493-TIPS, and in Dade County, the Crime Stoppers number is 305-471-TIPS. A Pompano Beach woman is in serious but stable condition this morning at North Broward General Hospital. Police say she was the victim of an attempted murder-suicide. They say the woman was kidnapped at gunpoint by her boyfriend. He then shot her before killing himself.
A South Dade man is behind bars this morning, accused of fondling his 14-year-old cousin and her friend. Detectives say 43-year-old Tomas Gorio tricked the girls into modeling lingerie for him at a Southwest Dade apartment. Police say Gorio somehow managed to get the girls to take off their clothing and say that's when he molested them. Authorities are searching for another man who was in that apartment when those incidents occurred.
A Miramar couple's battle to have their children excused from sex education class is now over. Yesterday, the Archdiocese settled a dispute between the Anderson family and St. Bartholomew's Catholic School. Last month, the Andersons pulled their 3 children from a course that included human sexuality. But the school insisted the course was mandatory and refused to admit the children back in class unless they took the sex ed class. The settlement allows the children to be excused from just the sex ed portion of the class.
22 minutes before the hour, the Air and Sea Show is in town once again. Crowds will be rushing in to catch some of the hottest flyers and coolest boats in the world. 7's Juan Mendieta has the story.
It's the roar of jets and the thunder of boats reverberating once again in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, it's a family-oriented, patriotic event. It has something for everyone. It's free to the public. Sort of a chance for everyone to wrap themselves in the American flag.
Old Glory, faithful or not, the event is an opportunity to see for ourselves what our tax dollars pay for. Billion-dollar jets like the stealth bomber, the ever-popular Thunderbirds, and a series of marine vessels like powerboats and even a human-powered submarine.
It's a tremendous impact for us. First of all, we're very proud to host the show and showcase our community and show people how proud we are. But on the other hand, the economic benefits are tremendous. All of our hotels are filling up.
The upside, crowded hotels. The downside, crowded streets. A1A will be shut down from Sunrise to Harbor Drive, and Sunrise will be shut down from Bayview to the beach. Well, Fort Lauderdale Beach is pretty empty right now, but all that's going to change this weekend. Organizers of the Shell Air and Sea Show expect nearly 2.5 million people to crowd this beach on a 3-mile stretch between Las Olas Boulevard on the south and Oakland Park Boulevard on the north.
It's great. There's people just everywhere. And of course, everyone needs a bathing suit because they're all going to be at the beach.
The atmosphere is super electric, super all-American, proud to be an American. God bless America. Get out of your bed, get on down here, come wave your flag and see the Shell Air and Sea Show, 1997.
Across the street on the beach, some people are already scoping out spots for the big show.
I think the beach setting is great for any show, especially watching the girls.
Juan Mendieta for Today in Florida.
Well, if you'd like more information on the Air and Sea Show, you can call a hotline number that's been set up. It is 954-572-5600, extension 88, the number to call.
It is now 20 minutes before 8 o'clock. Coming up next on Today in Florida, we'll take another look at weather and traffic. Also ahead, some scary close calls in the air. We'll have the details on this investigation.
The parents of JonBenet Ramsey break their silence to the media about their daughter's murder.
And in HealthCast, why are more teenagers saying no to sex?
I'm Pamela Wright in 7 Weather Center, starting out with a muggy 75 degrees this Friday. I'll give you the lineup for the first weekend in May. The weather, that is. We're back in just a couple minutes.
7 News, brought to you in part by Blimpie Subs and Salads. Blimpie, it's a beautiful thing.
Tony's original love, the Blimpie best. Ham, salami, capicola, prosciutini, provolone, choice toppings, all on freshly baked bread. Blimpie, it's a beautiful thing.
Eat a fajita at Blimpie Subs and Salads. For a limited time, the all-new chicken fajita sub.
Who is the father?
The truth is, I don't know.
Wow.
Jack and Dale may never know the truth.
Which one of you is Scott's father?
He is.
But before they're through,
I'm somewhat of a reluctant flyer.
They'll know more than they need to about each other.
You are nuts. You should be covered with chocolate and sold as a snack.
Robin Williams, Billy Crystal.
This cheese is no longer my friend. If I eat this, it's going to be bad for me and pretty much everybody else on this side of the room.
Father's Day, an Ivan Reitman film rated PG-13. Starts Friday, May 9th at a theater near you.
Sunbathing again.
Just a second, honey. Yeah.
The very attractive Civic LX sedan. Admire one for yourself at your Honda dealer.
They attack by the thousands. A relentless army. Ants. Only he has their number. The Exterminator. Deadly accurate and dressed to kill.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Only he has the Orkin injection system. A unique weapon that precisely targets ants' hiding places and terminates them. Guaranteed.
You're the best.
Precision injection. To get it, call 1-800-800-ORKIN, day or night.
They won't be back.
.43 is the time. After months of silence, the parents of JonBenet Ramsey have finally come forward and talked to the public. The couple denied they killed their daughter and vowed to find the murderer.
To those of you who may want to ask, let me address very directly. I did not kill my daughter, JonBenet.
This is a case which can be solved. You know, you may be eluding the authorities for a time, but God knows who you are, and we will find you.
The Ramseys met with Boulder Police Wednesday for an official interview. Authorities say the parents are the main focus of the investigation. 6-year-old JonBenet was found murdered the day after Christmas.
Police arrest 3 more men in connection with the discovery of more than 500 pounds of explosives in Northern California. Officials say the explosives were not homemade, but rather believed to have been stolen from a mining company. So far, police have a total of 6 people in custody. Continuing now with national news, a recent investigation shows that safety concerns at one of the nation's busiest airports may be suspect. CNN's Christine Negroni explains.
On 24 occasions over the last 7 months, controllers at the New York Air Route Traffic Control Center in Long Island have allowed planes to come too close together. The planes under the control of the New York Center, for the most part, are flying at altitudes above 16,000 feet. FAA regulations say these planes must be separated by at least 1,000 feet in altitude and by at least 5 miles on all sides. But on one occasion, the call was so close, the pilot's cockpit alarm sounded.
The pilots will mention it on the frequency and they'll say that this has happened, and then we go back to the, now we got to figure out what happened and do the investigation of why it was allowed to happen.
In the memo obtained by CNN, the manager of the New York Center ordered supervisors to come up with proposals that will immediately reduce errors. And while the FAA would not comment, the union made a suggestion that is not new.
We need to staff this place on a day-to-day basis with enough controllers to ensure the safety of the flying public.
Staffing has been an issue for years. The center is responsible for 6,500 flights a day, over 35,000 miles of U.S. airspace. And while it is supposed to have 339 controllers, only 308 work here. And of those, only 230 are fully qualified. Hiring more controllers has been a slow process.
The problem at the FAA is that they are an agency that has historically been in denial, that they understand that there are spikes, that they call it, that there are problems. This is not the first internal memo that's come out of FAA that says there may be a problem someday. However, it's going to take some aggressive movements in terms of bringing in additional air traffic controllers.
The FAA claims despite the problems at New York Center, the flying public is not at risk. The agency claims it has found no correlation between staffing levels and the recent increase in close calls. Yet now that the agency's private concerns have become public, more than reassurances may be required for air travelers to feel safe. Christine Negroni, CNN, New York.
Time for 7 weather with Pamela Wright.
And things are calm this morning in the air and in the sea and in the bay. For the big sea and air show weekend, things are looking very nice. Calm out on the waterways right now. If you plan on boating this afternoon, you are in luck. Here's a look at history on this date. May 2nd, our normal high and low temperatures and records set for this date. The record is 90 degrees, and we won't be far from it today, but don't think we're going to break it. Partly cloudy skies is what we find outside right now. 75 degrees. The humidity's up there, but the winds are still down. Quite calm, and actually not expecting any big wind gusts into the weekend. How about showers? Well, hello. They just went into clear air mode. That's a sign of good things at the radar station in Key West. We were picking up a few showers down here in the Straits, but obviously we don't need to worry about those. Summer-like conditions for us, so that does mean, however, that the chance for an afternoon shower or maybe a thunderstorm stays in the forecast, and actually it stays in the forecast and increase a little bit later on into the weekend. And here's the reason why. We're already seeing the strong storms through the nation's midsection. This is going to chug on towards the east, and as the warmer air becomes in place and humid air over the weekend, our rain chance will pick up a bit. Warm air today all the way up into the New England states, into the 60s. That's not bad. Overnight lows for us, we're going to stay really mild with low temperatures staying in the low 70s. Out west, nothing big going on. I just always cover up that side of the country, and I know some of you hate that. All right, east winds 10 knots for you today. Not bad. Seas 1 to 2 feet. About 87 with our high today. A few showers. Muggy and mild tonight. Think the front will arrive sometime late in the day to the evening hours on Saturday. That will increase our chance for a thunderstorm, and in fact, that chance stays with us for Sunday as well. Let's check on traffic now. Here's Tiffany.
95 southbound, your Friday morning delays lasting from the Glades down to State Road 112, 826. Also slow this morning, northbound side, look for that from Coral Way down to the Dolphin, southbound I-75 to 103rd. Eastbound Dolphin, normal touch and go stuff between 107 and Milam Dairy. And you're also going to find a serious accident. This one northwest, or rather southbound northwest 67th Avenue, right at 178th Street. Air rescue has been dispatched. So again, lots of rescue units. Do expect some slowdowns as you make your way through that hot spot. Broward County, not bad on 95. Eastbound 595. It's a little slow from University over to 441. I'm Tiffany Hartley. More traffic for you in 30 minutes.
Thank you, Tiffany. Time is now 7:49. Still to come this morning in HealthCast, medical experts say they may be closer to finding a cure for diabetes.
Hundreds of thousands of Cubans march to mark May Day.
And we'll tell you about the Spanish influence on the American music scene coming up.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Toyota. I love what you do for me. Toyota.
Planning your summer vacation? Taking a new Toyota Camry is the way to go. The perfect family vehicle for perfect family fun. Camry pre-summer leases start at $239 a month. $239 a month with features like anti-lock brakes, power package, and more. If you're gonna heat things up this summer, better get to your Toyota dealer now during Toyota's summer sales event.
There are invaders in your house. Dust, viruses, and allergens. Airborne microparticles that can't be stopped by an ordinary filter. Take control with a Filtrete microparticle filter from 3M. A Filtrete filter removes microparticles better than ordinary filters. 30 times better. Defend your airspace with the best filter. Filtrete, 30 times better than ordinary filters. Another 3M innovation.
Once found, impossible to leave. Estee Lauder Pleasures. For Mother's Day, a filigree basket of spring color. Just $25 with any Estee Lauder fragrance purchase. This special offer is yours now at Burdines.
I love this song. What station is that? Coast 97.3 FM.
Great song. What station is that? It's Coast 97.3 FM.
I love this song.
Me too. What station is that?
Ever wonder what radio station you're listening to? For the most music throughout your workday, listen to South Florida's Coast 97.3 FM. The best mix of the 80s, 90s, and today with less talk.
It is now 8 minutes before 8 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sean Robinson.
And I'm Michele Tuzzi. Here are some of the stories making headlines today. The Miramar Medical Examiner's Office has confirmed the 2 children involved in a family massacre yesterday were beaten to death. Their mother and grandmother were beaten and fatally shot. Police say there are no signs of forced entry at the home.
A bond hearing is set this morning for Metro Police Officer Shay Dunbar and his friend Lionel Coelho. The duo was arrested last night for the shooting death of Diego Argayas. They have been charged with second-degree murder and use of a weapon during a felony.
Reports indicate that 6 SaberTech mechanics have lost their license to work on aircraft. The FAA is not releasing the names of those mechanics. SaberTech is the maintenance company under scrutiny from the 1995 ValueJet crash.
And now, 7 HealthCast with Marilyn Mitchell.
We've got a little tip to help control your appetite. Also, a discovery that could lead to a cure for diabetes, and an experimental treatment for hepatitis C looks very promising. These stories and more in today's HealthCast.
Nicholas Julian got hepatitis C from a blood transfusion back in 1980 during open heart surgery. Standard interferon treatments, which help fight the virus, didn't work for Nicholas.
How's that?
Good.
That's why doctors are trying an experimental treatment called iron reduction therapy.
We generally take 1 pint of blood every week or two, and we continue until the patient develops a mild degree of anemia.
Too much iron in the body can be toxic to the immune system. When doctors remove it and try the interferon therapy again, hepatitis C appears to improve.
The preliminary data indicate that people that have iron removal will have an improved cure rate.
So far, it's working for Nicholas. Trying to lose weight? Start your meal with a low-fat salad or vegetable soup. Fiber-rich foods such as these suppress your appetite, so you'll eat less of the main course. Finally, some good news about teenagers. A new government survey reveals that American teens are having less sex. This is the first decline since the survey started 25 years ago. It also finds that teens are becoming more sexually responsible. More young people are using birth control, especially condoms. Researchers have pinpointed a gene that might lead to a new way to treat diabetes. The gene helps produce insulin in the body. If scientists can figure out how to jumpstart that gene, they may be able to reverse diabetes, as they already have in lab animals.
If you could rejuvenate your pancreas to make new islets capable of secreting insulin, you could cure diabetes. We certainly have done that in animals.
Researchers hope to do the same in people. However, keep in mind a lot of research must be done yet. Experts say they're at least 5 years away from this treatment becoming reality. We'll update you along the way. That's HealthCast. I'm Marilyn Mitchell, 7 News.
It is now 5 minutes before the hour. Here's what's ahead on the 8 o'clock hour of Today in Florida. We'll take a look at Cuba's May Day celebrations.
We'll tell you about the Spanish explosion into the American music scene.
And you'll meet one man who has a unique way of greeting his customers.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Mullinax Ford, your one-price volume discounter, and Publix Supermarkets, where shopping is a pleasure.
At Mullinax Ford in Margate, it only takes $5 down to put you in the driver's seat of a brand new Ranger XLT for just $208 a month. That's right, just $5 down, and you're driving a '97 Ranger pickup with cast aluminum wheels, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo with CD player, sliding rear window, and much, much more. Yours on a 2-year lease for just $208 a month after a down payment of only $5. Shop the largest selection of Rangers in the Southeast and choose the color you want for just $5 down at Mullinax Ford South in Margate.
Well, every day it's the same old thing. Get up, come to work, check the breakers, eat a sandwich.
I told him, Mr. Bronson.
I mean, I'm pretty much a white bread person.
White bread. He had no sense of creativity.
Have you ever tried anything different?
He resisted it at first.
Pumpernickel.
We bake all kinds of bread.
Well,
onion, raisin.
Pumpernickel raisin, whole wheat.
Jewish rye.
White Mountain rolls.
You name it, we got it.
That's great. Gotta change my lunch a little bit.
Well, we developed this friendship.
Yeah, I trust her now. Hey, what do you got for me today?
I'm going to suggest we toast it.
Toast is not a good word around here.
In all great meals, the main ingredient is Publix.
Carrots plucked from the good earth, tomatoes ripe off the vine, and the dressing, not one that's been all bottled up. A salad this fresh needs good seasons. You make it fresh. Good Seasons Italian.
Stop. Don't pay retail prices for your computer needs. Come to the Computer Show and Sale
Saturday and Sunday in Miami.
So you can't go to any other one place and find this many different products in one location.
Single chip, full computer, Super VGA, CD-ROM. At the Computer Show and Sale this weekend. Millions in merchandise, lots of friendly help. Prices so low they blow the stores away.
This Saturday and Sunday at Dade County Fair and Expo in Miami.
I'm one hungry guy when I get home. Hey! That's why Stouffers Hearty Portions is the right size for me.
It's hearty, big portions.
And it really tastes homemade.
Stouffers, nothing comes closer to home.
Well, that wraps up this half hour of Today in Florida, but we've got a lot more to tell you about.
We are back in 2 minutes for the 8 o'clock hour of Today in Florida. We'll see you then.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Baers for the best quality furniture and interior design.
You can buy furniture at Baers for only $1 during Baers Home Fashion Sale. Buy any piece of outstanding furniture included in the sale and get the second piece of equal or lesser value for $1. Included for all Stanley except youth, all lineage, Henrodon Registry and other selected Henrodon groups, all Ferguson Copeland, the Arnold Palmer Collection, accessories, lamps, and pictures included. It's unbelievable but true. $1 for Baers quality furniture. The Baer family won't be undersold.
For real value, we're Baers.
Shoot weeds with an ordinary weed killer, and they fall fast, but they're back just as fast. Shoot them with a weed killer like Roundup, and they die eventually. Use Finale, the total weed killer, and weeds are dead, roots and all, in just 1 to 4 days. Finale, 1 to 4 days. More and more people across the country are finding Finale, easily America's fastest weed killer, roots and all. See Europe. Enter the Grand Finale sweepstakes at a retailer near you.
I am surrounded by beautiful things. I am surrounded by beautiful things.
Marshall's has the brands you love, and right now you'll find great summer fashions for the whole family.
I deserve something terrific.
Plus designer fragrances, watches, and decorative glass. And everything is 20 to 60% less Mother's Day and every day.
My husband will do the dishes.
Marshall's, brand names for less every day.
Jewelry, gems, cold hard cash. Could you be entitled to some of these treasures? Our special series of reports show you the money. Tonight at 6 and 10 on 7 News.
Hey everybody, I'm Deco's Lynn Martinez.
And I'm Belkis Neray.
We're going on the road, Lincoln Road.
To the taste of the beach.
Try food from Miami's best restaurant.
And live it up with live entertainment.
It's the place to be May 3rd and 4th.
So we'll see you at the Taste of the Beach.
Brought to you by WSVN, Deco Drive, and these sponsors.
Straight ahead from the 7 Newsplex, a Metro-Dade police officer is now formally charged with a murder on South Beach. We are live with the latest.
A Sears security guard recovers from a shooting as police try to track down his attacker.
A shakeup at one of the companies being investigated after the crash of ValueJet Flight 592.
John and Patsy Ramsey have a private session with the media.
Just in time for May, Montana makes room for more snow.
And Fidel Castro throwing a big party for May Day. Catch all the festivities right ahead on the 8 o'clock edition of Today in Florida.
Live from South Florida's news station. This is Today in Florida.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sean Robinson.
And I'm Michele Tuesey in for John Turchin this morning. Thanks for joining us. We'll have more on all these stories in just a minute. But first, let's head on over to Pamela Wright. She's outside on the patio right now with a look at how things are shaping up for our weekend. Hi, Pamela.
Hey, Michelle, shaping up quite nicely. Just a wee bit steamy out here today, however. Quite muggy and in the mid-70s, where most of us starting out, although already finding some 80s here and there on the temperature scale around South Florida. What we are not seeing, too much cloud coverage. We're not going to see too much today until probably this afternoon. There's a satellite picture. Nothing's wrong with the satellite. There's just not much going on over us. However, later this afternoon, when the little sea breeze kicks in, we could see a few showers forming on that in the inland areas especially, and especially areas down south. But otherwise, most of us just dealing with the very warm temperatures and the humidity. A high temperature of about 87 today. UV index is a 10. That is very high, and it's going to stay quite high into the weekend. Now, if you plan on going to the, okay, I know I was going to mess this up, Shell Sea and Air Show by the seashore to see the stuff. I'm going to line up that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes. Now the news.
All right, Pamela, thank you very much. This morning, we know more about what police say could be a case of law and disorder involving a Metro cop. That man, Officer Shay Dunbar, is now being charged with second-degree murder for a shooting on South Beach. 7's Steve Simon is live in Miami with the very latest. Steve?
Well, one of those suspects that is not here is that Metro-Dade police officer we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. He is at another jail. Police say he's there for his own protection.
Any way you cut it, slice it, it's an unfortunate situation, whether it's a police officer or not.
But Miami Beach police are talking about another officer, a man used to arresting suspects, now a suspect himself, charged with second-degree murder. He's Metro-Dade police officer Shay Dunbar, a 4-year veteran of the force. Miami Beach police say Dunbar and friend Lionel Coelho got into a bar fight with another group. It all happened nearly 2 weeks ago. Cops tell us the fight started in this South Beach bar, but the hostility between the two groups went into the street. Shea Dunbar and Lionel Coelho exchanging words with another group that included Diego Arguelles, who was celebrating his 22nd birthday. Cops say Arguelles threw a bottle at Dunbar's Ford Explorer. Then Dunbar and Coelho allegedly responded by firing their guns, nearly a dozen shots, one of them hitting Arguelles. He later died. Cops say Dunbar and Coelho then drove away in Dunbar's black Ford Explorer. It was later searched and seized at Dunbar's home. Also taken by investigators, several guns, clothing, and bloodstains taken from the Ford. Enough evidence for police to charge Dunbar and Coelho with second-degree murder.
I can tell you that it's based on his mental state, and that has a lot to do with the second-degree murder charge.
I don't know what they were thinking when they did the shooting, but now look at how many people suffered. It's just not one murder, it's more.
Now, both men are expected in court in the next few hours or so. As far as the status of Shea Dunbar, when this investigation began, he was suspended with pay from the Metro-Dade Police Force. Now, suspended without pay. That's the story for now. We're live at the Dade County Jail. Steve Simon, Today in Florida.
Thank you, Steve. Police are still searching for clues in that massacre in Miramar. This morning, we now know how 4 family members died Wednesday. 29-year-old Maria Altador was shot repeatedly. Her mother, 60-year-old Teresa Laverne, was beaten and shot. And Altador's 2 children, 2-month-old Sabrina and 3-year-old Samantha, were beaten to death. A relative found the bodies.
When I saw the baby in the crib, the little baby, the little infant in the crib, and the grandmother in the kitchen, face down, in a pool of blood, all I could do is to grab my son and went to the neighbor's house to call the police.
Police are back at the house this morning as they search for more clues in the case. Metro-Dade homicide detectives need more information to solve another multiple murder. A man, his son, and another man were found murdered inside a West Dade warehouse yesterday. Detectives are not saying how Raul Del Castillo, his son Alberto, and Jose Morales were killed.
No reason imaginable to anyone here why this should have happened. None whatsoever. It makes no sense.
They're very nice people, big heart. So it's a shock to all of us.
Metro-Dade investigators say there is no indication this was a robbery. They have no motive or suspects.
A security guard is recovering this morning in the hospital. Meanwhile, police are closing in on the person suspected of shooting him outside a Broward shopping mall. 7's John Turchin with the story.
The entry would be right about here. This is the soft tissues of the neck. The neck is here.
Where did it lodge?
And then it rises right up to here, and if you get a good close view of it, you can see the fragments of the shell right up here.
27-year-old Anthony Wins took 2 bullets, one to the neck, the other to the stomach.
These are large caliber bullets. They're 38s or 9 millimeters. I really can't be sure, but they look like 38s. He has the full slug in them on both of them, not just fragments, shell casings.
If they would interfere in the normal bodily functions of the patient, we may remove them. Otherwise, they just have some scar tissue come over them and they're left alone and nothing actually happens.
Wins was rushed into the emergency room just minutes after he tried to stop a couple of shoplifters from getting away. A security camera at the Sears in the Broward Mall captures the suspects, first inside, then outside. That's when Wins, a 10-year employee of Sears, confronted them. The man opens fire, firing off 5 shots, hitting Wins twice, then running to a waiting car and taking off.
I think generally the public is a little concerned at the fact that this happened in broad daylight over such an insignificant item like a razor. These people are going out there and they have no regard for human life, and over a razor, he went ahead and withdrew a pistol and fired 5 shots at somebody.
For Today in Florida, I'm John Turchin.
The police are asking anyone with information to call Broward Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS or Dade County Crime Stoppers at 305-471-TIPS.
Time now 8:07. The FAA has stripped 6 Orlando-based SaberTech mechanics of their operating licenses. SaberTech is the maintenance company under scrutiny since the crash of ValueJet Flight 592. Their mechanics in Miami are suspected of mislabeling oxygen canisters believed to have sparked a fire on board Flight 592. Though it is important to note the revocation of their licenses has nothing to do with the crash. The DC-9 went down in the Everglades nearly a year ago, killing all 110 people on board. A man accused of television piracy pleads not guilty. 57-year-old Jose Suarez denied stealing, reprogramming, and selling hundreds of converter boxes out of his Hialeah home. Police say there could be more arrests. Suarez's trial is set for August 4th.
3 men are being charged with operating one of the largest pot-producing operations in South Florida history. The DEA and Miami police find another one of their alleged hideouts on North Miami Avenue and 29th Street. Once their agents said they found $18 million worth of pot.
And that shutdown began Wednesday when police found another multi-million-dollar warehouse operation in Hialeah. Police say state-of-the-art equipment was being used to grow the pot.
A Miramar couple's battle to have their children excused from a sex education class has now ended. The Archdiocese has settled a dispute between the Anderson family and St. Bartholomew's Catholic School. The kids were expelled after the Andersons refused to allow their children to take sex ed classes. The settlement allows the children to skip some of those lessons and head back to school next week.
Time now, 8:08. The Air and Sea Show is in town again. Crowds will be rushing in to catch some of the hottest flyers and the hottest boats in the world. 7's Juan Mendieta has the story.
It's the roar of jets and the thunder of boats reverberating once again in Fort Lauderdale.
Well, it's a family-oriented, patriotic event. It is something for everyone. It's free to the public. Sort of a chance for everyone to wrap themselves in the American flag.
Old Glory, faithful or not, the event is an opportunity to see for ourselves what our tax dollars pay for. Billion-dollar jets like the Stealth Bomber, the ever-popular Thunderbirds, and a series of marine vessels like powerboats and even a human-powered submarine.
It's a tremendous impact for us. First of all, we're very proud to host the show and showcase our community and show people how proud we are. But on the other hand, the economic benefits are tremendous. All of our hotels are filling up.
The upside, crowded hotels. The downside, crowded streets. A1A will be shut down from Sunrise to Harbor Drive, and Sunrise will be shut down from Bayview to the beach. Well, Fort Lauderdale Beach is pretty empty right now, but all that's going to change this weekend. Organizers of the Shell Air and Sea Show expect nearly 2.5 million people to crowd this beach on a 3-mile stretch between Las Olas Boulevard on the south and Oakland Park Boulevard on the north.
It's great. There's people just everywhere. And of course, everyone needs a bathing suit because they're all going to be at the beach.
The atmosphere is super electric, super all-American, proud to be an American. God bless America. Get out of your bed, get on down here, come wave your flag and see the Shell Air and Sea Show, 1997.
Across the street on the beach, some people are already scoping out spots for the big show.
I think the beach setting is great for any show, especially watching the girls.
Juan Mendieta for Today in Florida.
Well, if you would like more information on the Air and Sea Show, you can call this hotline number at 954-527-5600, extension 88.
Well, it is 11 minutes after 8 o'clock. When we return, we'll check on the traffic situation. Plus, firefighters work around the clock to battle a massive brush fire in California.
HealthCast shows you why your children may have some trouble at airports.
Also, Cuba kicks off May in military style.
And we'll show you why it is a Latin lover's dream when it comes to the pop charts.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Rooms to Go. Buy the piece, save a little. Buy the room, save a lot.
$6.99. The one low price at Rooms to Go. Just $699 buys you anything you're about to see. Only $6.99 for these incredible sofa and love seat sets. Choose this 7-piece contemporary bedroom, this Southwest bedroom, or this 18th century cherry bedroom, this traditional cherry dining set, or this whitewashed wall unit. Your choice, $6.99. The one low price, $6.99. $6.99. $6.99 days at Rooms to Go. Now through Wednesday. Don't miss it.
The bigwigs at Baskin Robbins, who insist we say Baskin Robbins, demanded you know all about the new BR smoothies from Baskin Robbins. You had to see the real fruit blended with non-fat frozen yogurt to understand they're a healthier way to enjoy Baskin Robbins. And of course, here's proof everyone loves their fruit-tastic flavor. So now you know, we may not make the best commercials, but nobody makes a better smoothie. Oh yeah, and don't forget, nobody makes a better ice cream cake for Mother's Day either.
Tired of hearing no? Sorry, you must be kidding. When you go to buy a car, at Cars Yes, we say yes. Yes, whether your credit is good or bad, we have a financing plan for you. Yes, every car is covered with a 1-year warranty. Yes, we can finance everyone. We love to say yes. Call 1-800-CARS-YES today. Cars Yes, the nation's largest used car company.
Big roach problem? Now, roaches have a big problem. Introducing Combat Plus. One box, 2 ways to kill them. Gel gets them where they come in. Baits cover the rest. It's the best solution. New Combat Plus. The ultimate weapon against roaches.
Time for 7 weather with Pamela Wright.
Second day of May and Old Man Winter still making himself known in parts of the West. Over 8 inches of snow falling in Livingston, Montana yesterday. That extra white stuff is just adding to this year's already record snowpack levels. And of course, that will make melting that stuff take that much longer. That storm system that was in Montana has moved eastward not too far. It's right now in the middle of the country, and we are looking for a good chance of severe weather from eastern Texas up through central Ohio by later on today. Here's the way it is spiraling around. It is pulling down some colder air behind it, certainly cold enough for that snow in the higher elevations of the Rockies and into parts of Montana. And where we have those that battle of the air mass, that's where something has to give, and that is where we're going to be getting the thunderstorms today. 49 in Amarillo now. The temperature there is actually dropping, actually has over the last couple of hours. Meanwhile, Dallas is still at 70, so here's the trouble zone right there. Only trouble you're going to have today, staying cool, 79 our current temperature. The humidity is up to 82% and very little breeze out there to give you any relief. So you're going to have to just take it easy outside today because we are in for a warm one. Rather summer-like, in fact, with our westerly winds. It's really going to warm us up. And as the sea breeze clashes in with that possibly later this evening or this afternoon, a stray shower, not out of the story. Here's the front that will be maybe putting a little wrinkle into your weekend plans. We're going to check the timing of that front. That will be pivotal to this important air and sea show weekend. A few showers around today, 87. Offshore, nice today. Winds easterly at 10 knots, seas only 1 to 2 feet. Muggy and mild tonight. Showers will remain isolated, but by tomorrow afternoon and in through the evening hours, we should see that front beginning to move near enough to the area that could spark off a few thunderstorms. But the good news is it might bring most of its rainfall in the overnight hours, and by Sunday afternoon, we could be clearing back out after a few more scattered storms. Check on traffic now. Here's Tiffany.
Rush hour not even beginning to wrap up on 95. The southbound side still slow between the Glades and 112. 826, you got your delays there. As usual, northbound side from Coral Way down to the 836. And the southbound side of the 826 slow there from I-75 to 122. An accident not on the Dolphin, but on Galloway, a little bit south of the 836. And along US 1, the northbound side, slow as usual from Kendall into the downtown area. Broward County hotspot, eastbound 595, that's slow from Pine Island over to the Turnpike. And keep in mind, the Air and Sea Show this weekend is going to have A1A closed between Sunrise and Northeast 11th Street. In addition, the only way you'll get to the beach is 17th Street Causeway, East Los Olas, or Oakland Park Boulevard. I'm Tiffany Hartley. More traffic for you just before 9 a.m.
Thank you, Tiffany. The time is now 16 minutes after 8. Good morning. I'm Michele Tuzzi along with Sean Robinson. Here's a look at the top stories we are following this morning. Miami Beach police have charged Officer Shay Dunbar with second-degree murder. This is in connection with the death of a man who was out celebrating his 22nd birthday the morning he was shot.
Investigators make one of the largest pot busts in South Florida history. They found $18 million worth of marijuana at a Miami storefront.
And the Air and Sea Show is coming to Fort Lauderdale this weekend. Admission is free, and it will give you a chance to see just what your tax dollars are paying for. Billion-dollar jets like the stealth bomber and even a human-powered submarine will be among the many things featured there this weekend.
8:17 is the time, and we still have much more to come. Just ahead, a brush fire takes out several hundred acres in California.
Plus, the Ramseys are still talking, this time to the media.
Also, HealthCast has some important medical news about laxatives.
And one man really rolls out the red carpet and his vocal cords for customers.
And now, the 7 Sports Page.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by FPL.
Hi, I'm Bob from FPL.
Bob, how you doing?
Hey, how much energy does it take to operate one of these push carts here?
Quite a bit.
What do you call these things anyway?
It's called a rickshaw.
Here's a tip on how to save some energy. Leaky faucets waste energy and waste money because they waste hot water, electricity, and cash. For more ways to save money and energy, just call us for a free home energy survey. I mean, with biceps like that, I'm sure you can dial a phone, right?
I'll try. I got the push button, so I'll try.
Yeah, I mean, oh, you got the push button because the dial's too hard, right?
You got it.
A little too strenuous after a day's work here?
Yep. Come on, pretty tired.
Now, the only thing more exciting than Pontiac Firebird's performance at the starting line or the finish line is its performance on the bottom line. Because for a limited time, you can get $1,000 cash back or 7.9% APR financing on any Firebird or Trans Am in stock. Think of it as prize money for the highly motivated. Firebird excitement, now with $1,000 cash back or 7.9 financing at your local Pontiac dealer today.
You gave my wife a ride. You were supposed to drop her off at Bell's Diner.
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've never seen you before in my life.
Suspense movies don't get any better than Breakdown.
Looks like she got away from you.
My wife did not leave me.
It's the best movie I've seen all year.
When do I see my wife?
Just start walking.
Where is she?
Put it at the top of your must-see list.
Tough man to get a hold of.
What do you want?
Breakdown. Don't miss it. Rated R. Now playing everywhere.
This is your wake-up call.
This is Harry. This is Harry Small Coffee. Bob likes a large coffee.
This is my dad, Herb Peterson.
And this is my baby, the Egg McMuffin.
This is a my-size meal. It's about giving people what they like.
Now when you buy hash browns and coffee, or any drink, any size, an Egg McMuffin is only 55 cents in honor of 1955, the year it all began.
It's a very good deal. Every day. I'm serious. This is my McDonald's.
See you tomorrow, bright and early.
8:20 is the time. We begin national news this morning in Denver, where the Oklahoma City bombing trial continues. Defense lawyers are expected to cross-examine a witness for the prosecution. The woman says she rented a storage space in Kansas to Timothy McVeigh's alleged accomplice, Terry Nichols. Yesterday, a former arms dealer told jurors McVeigh tried to buy a bomb detonator from him.
Texas, the end may soon be in sight for a 6-day standoff between a militia group and authorities. The lawyer for the leader of the Republic of Texas group urged him to surrender before police take action. Reports say if the group does not accept the offer to surrender, authorities will move in to make arrests.
California crews battled an almost 500-acre brush fire in the Angeles National Forest. A bullet fired at a nearby shooting range is believed to have sparked the blaze. Officials say the fire is ironic since yesterday was the opening of the fire season. No homes were threatened.
In Central Florida, cops say a woman is abducted from a 7-Eleven store, and it's all caught on videotape. Police say 22-year-old Angela Boyd entered the store and told the clerk, "He's after me, call 911. That man, police say, is Brian Hilton, her 21-year-old boyfriend. This video shows Hilton pulling Boyd out of the store against her will. Investigators are searching for the two. The parents of slain beauty queen JonBenet Ramsey are finally speaking out. The Ramseys spoke with police and the media this week, denying any wrongdoing and vowing to find their daughter's killer. Fox's Shepard Smith has more.
I did not kill my daughter, JonBenet. JonBenet and I had a very close relationship. I will miss her dearly for the rest of my life.
I did not kill JonBenet. I did not have anything to do with it. I love that child with my whole of my heart and soul.
JonBenet Ramsey was discovered inside her family's $1 million home the day after Christmas. A ransom note found there as well. The writer still unknown, though her father has been ruled out. Patsy Ramsey has submitted 4 handwriting samples, and cops are now requesting a 5th. Today, the couple said investigating them is a waste of police time. And Patsy Ramsey sent a message to the unknown killer.
You may be eluding the authorities for a time, but God knows who you are, and we will find you.
We'll find you. We will find you. I have that as a sole mission for the rest of my life.
Still, authorities say Patsy and John Ramsey are the focus of their investigation. Yesterday, for the first time since the discovery of the body, the couple met with Boulder police.
Guys, I can't talk about it.
Patsy was interviewed first for more than 6 hours. then her husband, John. The couple has hired lawyers and investigators of their own, and even today refused to speak about the particulars of the case.
God has a master plan for all of us.
Other way.
And that in the fullness of time, our family will be united again, and we will see JonBenet.
In Boulder, Colorado, Shepard Smith, 7 News, Today in Florida.
Well, senior reporter Mark Ludner is the only South Florida reporter in Colorado covering this story. You can be sure and look for his live reports later today on 7 News beginning at 5.
Coming up on 24 minutes after the hour, we are far from finished. Just ahead, HealthCast shows you why airports may be a bad place for your children.
Cuba comes out in full force to celebrate May Day.
And see if a change could be in the making for a couple called Trump.
Today in Florida brought to you in part by Mazda and by Carl's Furniture for everything you love about home.
The 97 Mazda 626 LX Special Edition. Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $17,895.
Good day, furniture buyers. Your mission is to save thousands of dollars during Carl's Furniture Impossible Sale. Your assignment, should you decide to accept, is to buy Bernhardt at half price. Buy one piece, get the second half price. It's unbelievable. It's unheard of. It sounds impossible, but it's true. You only have a few hours to accomplish this spectacular money-saving mission at Carl's Impossible Sale. Good luck.
Touch you. Oh, now let's get together and feel alright. Say now, come to Jamaica.
Call your travel agent or 1-800-JAMAICA.
In advertising, they say one of the surest ways to get your message across is to put celebrities in your commercial. We hope they're right.
The odds your child will touch the stars are out of this world. The chances he'll become an architect are more down to earth. But there's a 1 in 4 chance your baby isn't fully protected against childhood diseases. Keep his baby shots on schedule. Ask your doctor at every visit.
And now, 7 HealthCast with Marilyn Mitchell.
In today's HealthCast, why kids and airports may not mix. But first, antidepressants and the effect they can have on your libido.
Antidepressants like Prozac are known to sometimes reduce a person's sex drive or cause other sexual problems. Well, now researchers conclude that adverse sexual effects are the rule rather than the exception among people taking antidepressants. The latest study shows that over 75% of patients taking Prozac or Zoloft reported diminished sex drive and reduced sexual arousal. However, patients taking Wellbutrin, another antidepressant, had no adverse sexual side effects.
In other medical news, laxatives are linked to cancer. Also, a combination of drugs may reverse a terminal form of liver cancer. Here's Lester Strong with the rest of today's medical news.
The Food and Drug Administration has new evidence linking an ingredient in laxatives to cancer in laboratory animals. The ingredient is phenolphthalein. It's found in several over-the-counter laxatives, including the popular X-Lax. Toxicologists say rats develop lymphomas after being given doses 30 times higher than the recommended dose for humans. The FDA says laxatives are safe when used as directed, but they are still concerned about the long-term use of these products. Researchers at New England Medical Center have identified an experimental drug treatment for a form of liver disease which currently has no cure. They were able to not only slow the progression of primary biliary cirrhosis, but also make some patients disease-free.
I believe even the most skeptic physician would have to be convinced that the disease has gone away, and it's been away for a long enough period of time that they're not at any risk of having to have a liver transplant, die, or anything.
Dr. Kaplan hopes this combination treatment, anchored by the drug methotrexate, will become the standard of care for this form of liver disease. We all know how distracting loud noises can be. Studies have shown that it can affect our hearing. Now, a new study shows it can also affect a child's ability to learn. Cornell University researchers found children who go to schools located near airports have poorer language and reading skills compared to children who go to schools in more quiet environments. Ironically, all of the children in the study had normal hearing. Researchers blame the noise made by the aircraft for the children's learning deficits. That's HealthCast. I'm Lester Strong.
And we are coming up on just about £1:30. Don't go away. When we come back, Castro kicks off May with an historic celebration.
Plus, some Spanish singers hit a note with the music industry.
And we'll show you how one clerk keeps in tune with his customers later on Today in Florida.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Eldorado Furniture, a family working for your family.
The 12-hour sale at El Dorado. More advantages than ever. The 12-hour sale at El Dorado. It's this Saturday only. More hours and more savings. Plus 12 months free of payments and interest. The 12-hour sale at El Dorado. 12 hours of the greatest reductions. 12 hours to select your dream furniture. More hours and more savings. More of a sale than ever. 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. this Saturday only. The 12-hour sale exclusively at all El Dorado Furniture showrooms.
Introducing Improved Hills Science Diet, the only pet food with advanced RDA system nutrition, so your cat will come alive with health. It gives cats an improved balance of vitamins and minerals for a healthy difference you can see, and a taste she'll love, guaranteed. In fact, Science Diet is the #1 choice of veterinarians for their own pets. So feed your cat new Science Diet from Hills for a healthy difference you can see, guaranteed.
They come from beneath the earth, the silent destroyers, termites. Only he can stop them, the exterminator. He's back and dressed to kill.
Wait till they get a load of me.
Armed with 4 termite barriers featuring Orkin foam. More termite stopping power than conventional treatments alone. So the enemy's terminated. Guaranteed.
You're the best.
4 barriers. Get them by calling 1-800-800-ORKIN, day or night.
They won't be back.
On a celebrity cruise to Alaska, you can see many wondrous things. Some without leaving the dining room. The best cruise to Alaska is a celebrity cruise to Alaska. Celebrity Cruises, exceeding expectations. Awarded 5 stars by Fieldings and the top premium cruise line rating by Berlitz.
8:31 is the time. Welcome back, Sean Robinson and Michele Tuesday. Time to take a look at the day's forecast.
Yeah, starting to feel like summer out there. Pamela Wright's out on the patio with all the details for us.
It feels very summery out here, and you know what that means. If we get in a summer-like pattern, not only talking hot and sticky, but a chance for afternoon showers or maybe even thunderstorms in the forecast just about every day. So if I forget to say that between now and about December, you just keep that in the back of your mind. Checking out temperatures right now across South Florida, we already are warming up. Lots of low 80s around and upper 70s, and we are going to keep on feeling the heat today. On top of that, let's bring in the humidity levels. The air nearly saturated in many areas. You'd think you'd be able to see it out here, and actually you can. It's sort of hazy as the sunshine beginning to break through. Now we're going to add in the satellite picture, and you really don't see much going on over us, and that's actually, of course, good news for the next couple of days. But as the humidity levels increase, and we are watching a system out west that is going to move into our picture by later on in the weekend, might have a little something to worry about into late Saturday afternoon. So I'll be back in to tell you about that in just a little bit. UV index way up there today. Very nice for the boaters. A high of 87. You can tell just by looking at the bay, we are not calling for any problems out offshore today. Just a light chop on the bay by this evening. Otherwise, things staying pretty muggy and pretty quiet for today. More talking about those thunderstorms in just a few minutes. Sean.
All right, Pamela, thank you very much. At 8:33, it's time to recap some of this morning's top stories. Metro-Dade police officer Shay Dunbar is in jail this morning, charged with second-degree murder. Another man, Lionel Coelho, was also arrested. Both are accused of gunning down Diego Argaiz outside a South Beach nightclub.
More than 300 firefighters are called in to battle a 480-acre brush fire in Sunland, California. Choppers launched an aerial assault, and nearby residents were dousing their roofs and planning on evacuating. The blaze was reportedly sparked by a bullet coming from a nearby shooting range.
At 43, Tony Blair has become Britain's youngest prime minister in 185 years. The Labour Party leader defeated Conservative Prime Minister John Major in a landslide yesterday.
Time now 8:33. This morning we have a chance to take you behind the scenes in Havana once again. The country putting on quite a display for May Day. CNN Savannah Bureau Chief Lucia Newman reports.
Billed as the biggest May Day celebration since the 1959 Cuban Revolution, it was a display of humanity, staged to show the world, and especially the United States, that Cubans are with President Fidel Castro and not Washington.
¿Podrá el imperialismo con su bloqueo?
Could imperialism, with its blockade, with the Helms-Burton Bill, and with all kind of aggressions, take away our independence, our revolution, and our socialism?
The answer came as no surprise. In this country where public dissent against the government is not permitted. This May Day was dedicated to the 30th anniversary of the death of Ernesto Che Guevara, the Argentine revolutionary who became a legend in Cuba and many other parts of Latin America. Che's wife and family were warmly greeted by Castro at the podium. The government billed the march as a sign of support for Cuba's one-party system and a protest against U.S. policies to rid the island of communism.
Por lo tanto, el 1 de mayo.
That is the reason that May 1st becomes a referendum as an answer to Mr. Clinton's pretensions in the message he sent to the U.S. Congress.
Another message, perhaps, was the display of anti-aircraft units that were deployed around Havana on the eve of May Day, their guns pointing towards the United States. Authorities say they're part of a routine military exercise, but the timing indicates more was intended. Hundreds of thousands of citizens of Havana went to the march, most of them bussed to the Plaza of the Revolution from their place of work. All workers are expected to attend. Although it was the day that commemorates the rights of workers around the world, there was no mention of the burden on Cuban workers, of growing unemployment and intolerance of those who try to make a living in Cuba's informal private sector. And despite the mounting social inequalities in today's Cuba, authorities seem determined to convince their people that capitalism is still the root of all evil. Lucia Newman, CNN, reporting.
Time now 8:36, and keep it right here on 7. Here's what's still ahead. We'll show you how some South Florida music is sizzling up the charts.
The Marlins take a swing at St. Louis.
And one man finds a new way to say hey to shoppers.
2 runs are scored.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Publix Supermarkets, where shopping is a pleasure.
Well, every day it's the same old thing. Get up, come to work, check the breakers, eat a sandwich.
I told him, Mr. Bronson.
I mean, I'm pretty much a white bread person.
White bread. He had no sense of creativity.
Have you ever tried anything different?
He resisted it at first.
Pumpernickel.
We bake all kinds of bread.
Well,
onion, raisin.
Pumpernickel raisin, whole wheat.
Jewish rye.
White Mountain rolls.
You name it, we got it.
That's great. Gotta change my lunch a little bit.
We developed this friendship.
Yeah, I trust her now. Hey, what do you got for me today?
I'm going to suggest we toast it.
Toast is not a good word around here.
In all great meals, the main ingredient is Publix.
I need some reason! Seth thought God was trying to test his faith.
I know the difference between bad luck and a divine hand.
Now, the only way he can go on...
He did say he was going to break the commandments. Is that news?
Depends on how many he breaks.
...is to get even.
Do you know that Seth is carving a naked woman with severed heads?
I think he's dangerous.
That's not dangerous.
You don't know him in the biblical sense.
Aidan Quinn, Courtney Cox.
Commandments, rated R. Now playing at theaters everywhere.
City Furniture has the best prices on Simmons Beauty Rest. A Queen Simmons Beauty Rest mattress and box spring is just $2.99. Or choose a luxurious Beauty Rest pillow top model for only $4.99. Plus, you'll enjoy no payments for 8 months, no finance charges, and no down payment with approved credit.
Fox May events tonight. It craves one thing. Meat. The feast begins on an all-new Sliders, then a millennium.
There will be another attack.
It's part of the ritual. In the battle between good and evil, he's our only hope. An all-new millennium.
You got the power to stop this.
Hey, no, I've got the power! An all-new millennium. It all starts tonight at 8, 7 Central on Fox.
Coming up on 20 minutes to 9 in entertainment news this morning, will it soon be separate mansions for Marla and Donald? Well, a New York newspaper is reporting billionaire Donald Trump and his wife of 3 years, Marla Maples, are calling it quits. However, a spokesperson for Marla Maples says it is not true. According to reports, this may just be a publicity stunt to boost the ratings for the upcoming Miss Universe pageant, a Trump production.
Playboy magazine has named their 1997 Playmate of the Year. The winner is, listen up guys, former Miss Sweden, Victoria Silvstedt. With the title, Silvstedt receives $100,000 and a 1997 Porsche Boxster. She says she hopes the honor will help her acting and modeling career. An honor for an entertainer named Hope. Nope, not Bob. We're talking about his wife, Dolores. The singer was awarded a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame yesterday. Her star was placed right next to her husband's. During her music career, Dolores Hope received, or rather released, several albums and entertained troops overseas with her husband.
They are considered by some to be the biggest rock band on earth. And now U2 have what may be the largest logo in rock history. In honor of their upcoming concert in Salt Lake City, a local radio station altered a local landmark. A giant U marking the University of Utah had a large 2 placed next to it to spell out the band's name. The Irish rockers bring their Pop Mart tour to Salt Lake City tomorrow night.
South Florida is ripe for developing fresh new talent in the music industry. Now it seems we are at an advantage because of the heavy Spanish influence in the area. Fox's Carlos Harrison shows you how Latin music is spicing up the charts.
Feel the fire.
There are crossover stars and crossover dreams. But nowadays, Spanish music has the record industry singing a whole new tune.
5 years ago it was just a dream. Today the dream is a reality. 5 years from now, it's going to be as important of a market as any other segment.
Right now, Spanish music may only be a fraction of the $12 billion industry, but that fraction has tripled in the last 5 years to a hefty $400 million a year. And industry watchers say it can't help but keep growing.
If you look at, obviously, the demographic of people of Latino descent in this country keeps growing by leaps and bounds. I think the record industry is just keeping pace with that sort of growth, sort of mirroring the growing demographic of Latinos in this country.
More than 27 million Hispanics now live in the United States, a 28% increase since 1990. On average, they're younger than whites, and they're likely to be the nation's largest minority by 2000. With numbers like those, crossover dreams work both ways. English language stars such as Madonna and Boys to Men recognize the sales potential and record in Spanish. MTV Latino aims its 24-hour Spanish music channel at Latin America and at major Latin markets in the U.S. And the growing phenomenon of Latin rock has caught the attention of industry executives as another possible source of crossover stars, which means soon enough, a lot more of us may be dancing to the beat of a different Latin drummer. In Miami, Carlos Harrison, Fox News.
Time now 8:42. 7 Video Sports is still ahead. A penny from heaven cashing in on the playoffs. We'll show you if it is enough to beat the Heat later in 7 Video Sports.
And one man makes quite an impression on some Texas shoppers.
And they'll be shopping for umbrellas, no doubt, in Texas. We're watching a storm system there that is actually going to affect our weekend. I'll tell you about it next.
It's that beautiful time of year. And your Health Mart pharmacist has all the right products to set you straight again. Because at Health Mart, everyday savings are nothing to sneeze at. What is it you like about Health Mart?
Well, there's antacids, generics, film, diapers, deodorant, vitamins, mouthwash, heating pads, toothpaste, pain relievers, cough syrup, cotton swabs, and of course, Mr. Campbell.
Health Mart, savings you like on the products you need.
If someone you loved suddenly disappeared,
My wife did not leave me.
what would you do to get her back?
What do you want?
Kurt Russell, Breakdown, rated R, now playing everywhere.
The new S70 from Volvo.
My brakes are gone. Any chance I could get that fixed in a couple of hours?
Tell you what, leave it here. I'll see what I can do. Check in periodically.
I was wondering, how's my car coming?
I have 3 of my best guys on it right now.
With Pep Boys 12 service bays and expert technicians, you're in and out fast. 26,000 items, tires, and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Can you believe that thousands of people pick their dentist from a phone book? How do they do it? Is it by name, like Dr. Gentle or Dr. Smile? Or maybe they just close their eyes and point. But what if you have questions? What if you want more information? Lots of luck. And yet all you have to do is call 1-800-DENTIST, and you can get tons of information on a pre-screened dentist in your area for free. But I guess some people just like to do things the hard way.
Time for 7 Weather with Pamela Wright.
An awesome sight in Hawaii as lava begins spewing out of a volcano, forming some massive lava pools. Geologists say this lava is leaking from a vent. Sounds like a bad air conditioning. The volcano has been erupting continuously, believe it or not, since January of 1983. Not expecting too much more activity out of that. How about anything erupting over our area? We are not expecting any thunderstorms today, but showers, not out of the question. It is a steamy 79 degrees under partly sunny skies. 82% is the humidity. Winds have been light all morning long and should stay fairly calm throughout the day. Not very calm right here through the nation's midsection, watching for some strong storms expected to develop from eastern Texas all the way up to near Cincinnati by this afternoon. This storm front is headed in our direction. Strong storms are the forecast for the nation's midsection. Warm stuff out west, not much going on there. And we are going to stay rather summer-like, which of course means warm. Will be in the 80s, in the upper 80s, in fact. Also means muggy and a chance for showers and storms each and every day. Here are tonight's low temperatures. We are going to stay in the 70s for our overnight low, so we quickly rebound to the upper 80s by tomorrow as well. East winds at about 10 knots offshore today. Winds or seas are only going to be 1 to 2 feet, so very nice for the boaters. For today, Saturday and Sunday, for the big air and sea show, we see temperatures creeping up to near 90 degrees. Thunderstorms look like best chance late Saturday and into the first part of your Sunday. So we are going to keep you posted on all of that. Let's take another check on traffic now. Here's Tiffany.
Good morning, 95. Still moving a bit slow from the Glades to 112. Problems up and down the 826. Northbound accident on the entrance ramp from US 1. Southbound accident just south of 58 and 1 trying to clear up westbound Palmetto at 47th Avenue. US 1 northbound a little bit slow. Still from Kendall into downtown and in Broward County. You're going to find eastbound 595 still touch and go from Pine Island to the Turnpike. And do keep in mind the Air and Sea Show still going to have A1A shut down from Sunrise to Northeast 11th Street. Go ahead and just stick to US 1. I'm Tiffany Hartley. Have a great weekend. That is your final check on traffic.
Time for 7 Video Sports with Deuces Rogers.
Good morning, South Florida. Where do we begin? A series that should have been over on Tuesday is going to Game 5. the Heat fold again as the Magic tie the series at 2 games apiece. Alonzo Mourning with the game face. He was supposed to have a big game with Horace Grant and Ronnie Cycli each out with injuries first quarter. Cycli's backup, Danny Shays, with a great pass to Penny Hardaway. 3-point play, Penny with 18 points in the first quarter. Tim Hardaway answers for the Heat. The reverse layup, game tied at 20. Second quarter, the Magic going a 13-0 run. Penny juking and jiving, shaking and baking, dropping in 2 more points. Riley and the guys down by 14 at the half. Third quarter, Vashawn Leonard. Alley-oop to P.J. Brown. Heat pulled to within 4 at one point, but with the shot clock winding down, Nick Anderson to Penny Hardaway. Another 3-point play. Magic up by 11 after 3. 41 points for Hardaway. Fourth quarter, Tim Hardaway hits a pair of threes. The lead cut down to 5. But Zoe turns the ball over on a key possession. The Heat lose again, and there will be a Game 5 on Sunday. A disappointing 99-91 loss.
There's an old saying that the playoffs don't start until the home team loses a game. You know, the home court advantage is going to win it for you yourself. We're going to have to play a hell of a lot better than we played here. And so we got 2 days until we play a game that means our season.
I'm not really surprised. You know, I said all along that we had a good enough team to go out there and play hard and win basketball games, especially in our building. You know, we play well here, especially with our fans. The fans are the biggest thing that really carries us over.
Hardaway, 42 points in the other game, 41 points last night, Game 5 on Sunday. Well, baseball now. The Marlins have been far from road warriors this season. Their 2-game trip to St. Louis, proof enough. Alex Fernandez on the hill trying to stop the bleeding. The Marlins had dropped 8 straight away from home, bottom of 1. Mark Sweeney with the 2-run single to center. 2-run score. Marlins trail it 2-0. Cardinal pitcher Matt Morris pitching a gem until the 8th inning. Greg Zahn takes him deep to right. A 2-run shot, but it's not enough. The Marlins lose their 9th straight on the road. 3-2 the final. That'll do it for sports this morning. I'm Deuces Rogers. You have yourself a good day.
Time is now 10 minutes before the hour. What we're going to do right now is help you spice up your relationships with some advice about love and marriage.
Yeah, this morning we'll show you how to make the most of your romance. Here's 7 relationships expert, Dr. Terry Hamilton.
My expectations in marriage is to kind of have a friend for life, a partner for life.
Marriage would be the groundwork for beginning a family.
To share everything, 50-50.
It's a relationship that ought to be shared dually, not singly.
We were going to share everything and do everything together, but now that I'm home, I do all the cooking, the cleaning, the shopping, everything.
The old what we think we're getting when we get married and what we actually get routine. And I'm thinking this probably sounds pretty familiar because the truth is a lot of people take marriage vows without fully understanding just exactly what it is they're getting into. And you know, one of the biggest mistakes that couples make is going into a marriage with expectations. Make that unrealistic expectations. Because when a partner doesn't live up to them, and trust me, that's going to happen, we think, you know, this just isn't working. I've made a mistake. I need a divorce. And then the sad fact is, that's exactly what they do. So where do we get these expectations, you ask? Well, in most cases, you don't need to look any further than your own parents. There you are, growing up, watching what mom does, watching what dad does. Shouldn't come as any surprise that when you get married, you expect the same things from your partner. Only these are things, expectations, that you never actually shared with them, meaning they don't know what it is you want them to do.
People change, and as you go one way, your husband sort of picks up the slack another way.
You see the problem here? Alrighty, so how do you avoid these problems in the first place? Well, without sounding too simplistic, the first step is to identify what your expectations are and be honest. That'll help you to understand how they're contributing to your problems. Then, of course, you need to share this information with your partner, and you need to set goals, specific goals. You need to spell out exactly what it is you want. Once you've started that dialogue, you're on your way. For 7 News, I'm Dr. Terry Hamilton.
Time now, 8:52. Our time is almost up today.
Yeah, but don't leave us yet. When we come back, we will introduce you to the king of meter greeters.
Florida brought to you in part by Mazda and by Carl's Furniture for everything you love about home.
The 97 Mazda 626 LX Special Edition. Lease for $229. Add rich leather and the lease goes to. Add air and a silky automatic and the lease cruises to. Add power everything and the lease rolls to. Add the best basic warranty in its class and you get the idea. Lease or buy for $17,895.
Good day, furniture buyers. Your mission is to save thousands of dollars during Carl's Furniture Impossible Sale. Your assignment, should you decide to accept, is to buy Bernhardt at half price. Buy one piece, get the second half price. It's unbelievable. It's unheard of. It sounds impossible, but it's true. You only have a few hours to accomplish this spectacular money-saving mission at Carl's Impossible Sale. Good luck.
This is your wake-up call.
This is Harry. This is Harry's small coffee.
Bob likes a large coffee.
This is my dad, Herb Peterson.
And this is my baby, the Egg McMuffin.
This is a my-size meal. It's about giving people what they like.
Now when you buy hash browns and coffee, or any drink, any size, an Egg McMuffin is only 55 cents in honor of 1955, the year it all began.
It's a very good deal, every day. I'm serious. This is my McDonald's.
See you tomorrow, bright and early.
Having nightmares about buying your new car? Worried about the typical hustle and hassle, and you're not even sure you got the best price? Wake up to a world of difference. At World Ford, our one price is always the world's lowest price, guaranteed. A new 97 Ford Taurus is only $15,790. World Ford, hassle-free and lowest price, guaranteed.
There's a world of difference at World Ford.
2 convenient locations.
All right, we're about to head off for the weekend. Before we leave you, we want to introduce you to a man who is interested in making your shopping experience more pleasurable.
As Fox's Jeff Crilly shows you, the Texan accomplishes his goal simply by playing your song.
Hello, Mary, how are you today? He doesn't have the songwriting skills of Rodgers and Hammerstein. On Belline Road today. And he doesn't have the voice of Frank Sinatra. We hope you have a good time in here. But if you want to talk about attitude, Paul Hastings is in a league of his own. And have a good time. He's known as the singing greeter because he makes up melodies for every customer who walks in the door. Glad you're here, Sandra. It's easy to spot first-time customers. Come on in. They're the ones with the look on their face that says, is this guy for real? Shopping around, round at Sam's. It's something he came up with a few years ago, and customers kept asking for encores.
The other verses? I always wanted to be an entertainer from age 3. And you know what? I probably make more money than most of my friends who are singing to 380 drunks on the weekend, and I sing to 23,000 a week right here, and they're not drunks.
He doesn't get paid a dime extra for doing it. Paul's paycheck would look the same whether he sang or just shook hands with people. But he's making a big difference in customers' lives. Hundreds of people have written the store saying he's the reason they shop here.
I think it's great. It makes my mornings. I come here all the time because of him. He's not here, is that there's a difference.
We are happy you came into.
There are lots of important jobs in any store. Somebody has to put stock on the shelves, and somebody else has to ring it up and put it in your basket.
Well, that you made it down to have a good time.
But Paul may have the most important job of all.
On Belline Road.
He's the one who puts the smile on your face.
Have a good time while shopping around.
Jeff Crilly, Fox News.
He is bringing a lot of smiles to people's faces, even though they are a little startled at first.
Startled, but what a pleasant thing to greet you when you walk in the door.
He's one happy guy.
Well, that wraps up this morning's edition of Today in Florida. Thanks for keeping it right here on 7. I'm Sean Robinson.
And I'm Michele Tuzzi. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you today for 7 News at noon.
Today in Florida, brought to you in part by Hialeah Racetrack Super Season 97.
What a beautiful way to spend the day at classic Hialeah Park. The tradition continues. Great thoroughbred racing at historic Hialeah Park. The colors, the pageantry, the excitement, a wide array of foods. It all starts at 1:15. So what are you waiting for? Head for Hialeah and get racy.
The only place in South Florida to bet and see the Kentucky Derby, Hialeah Park.
Mobil presents the fastest way ever invented to get gas, Mobil Speed Pass. Just wave this key tag at your pump and it automatically bills your credit card of choice. Don't you wish you could pay for everything that fast? Speed Pass is easy. It's free and it's only at Mobil. So now friendly serve is even faster. Mobil Speed Pass, the fastest way to get gas.
I am surrounded by beautiful things. I am surrounded by beautiful things.
Marshall's has the brands you love, and right now you'll find great summer fashions for the whole family.
I deserve something terrific.
Plus designer fragrances, watches, and decorative glass. And everything is 20 to 60% less Mother's Day and every day.
My husband will do the dishes.
Marshall's, brand names for less.
Every day.
Diane Ladd guest stars as a madam who's into some very risky business on the next heat of the night.
Today at 4 on WSVN-7.
It started with a sheep and brought science closer to human cloning. Could this controversial breakthrough become a genetic nightmare?
The potential for something going wrong is always there.
7's Marilyn Mitchell investigates science or sci-fi. 7 News reports tonight at 5 and 10. Our special series of reports show you the money. Tonight at 6 and 10 on 7 News.
Coming up, it's Live with Regis and Kathie Lee. Today, it's a Knots Landing reunion. Joan Van Ark, Michele Lee, and Kevin Dobson, all right here in our studio. Plus, we'll get up close and personal with actress-turned-author Mia Farrow. And just kidding week's going out with a bang as 9-year-old gospel singer Brandon Morgan brings down the house. All next on Live. Now here are Regis Philbin and Kathie Lee Gifford.
Right up there last night.
Oh, boy, did it. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you. Friday, May 2nd, 1997. Beautiful day outside. A little on the cold side, but last night rainstorms hit this area, and I was just asking Kathie if it rained up her way last night.
Horrendous rains and major winds, you know, the kind that rattles the house.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, you know, I got a new roof on. We're going to find out today, I guess.
Well, timing's everything, Reach. Maybe you should have waited till after that storm